Welcome to your Saturday edition of In the Sheds as we look back on last night's action in the Betfred Super League round 26, up and running, and we're starting at the Brick Community Stadium. Wigan Warriors 38, Leeds Rhinos 0, as the Warriors do to the Rhinos what the Rhinos did to the Warriors at Headingley, and this was a superb display once again from Matty Pete's team. He was up in the gantry, he had his bowl of juicy cherries, he had double, triple cream, oh yeah, he even put a little cocktail cherry on top of his espresso martini at full time. This was so comfortable for the Wigan Warriors. They're hitting the straps at the right time yet again. Can anyone touch the champions? They've got all the silverware. They don't want to let it go. They are now absolutely favourite for the league leaders shield. I mean, the left edge of the Wigan Warriors, Wardle and Marshall. Oh, they were having a field day, wasn't it? I mean, the first try, Marshall there, the game smarts back on the inside for Wardle, and then the flip pass from Wardle back to Marshall. Yeah, son, have one back. Beautiful stuff from the Wigan Warriors there. Bevan French scoring 2. What for him? We're pretty easy tries, let's be fair. The run from Cade Ellis. Cade Ellis, I'm really pleased he got a try as well. I think he's had a fantastic season for the Wigan Warriors, Cade Ellis. Lovely run right through me. Dear me, there was no tannoy man. The gap was that big. He's like, yeah, whatever, I'm going through there. I know he's on the shoulder, but Bevan French. And of course, you know, the Harry Smith dink over the top for, you know, they like to execute that. They've got the pace, haven't they, the Wigan Warriors, to do that. We've seen that many times this season. They did it once again against the Leeds Rhinos. I mean, like you say, what can we say that we've not already said about Wigan Warriors? When they're on, they're on. French looks back in the groove. Field had a much better game as well. 168 metres from Jai Field in this from 23 carries, 4 tackle busts and a clean break. He's looking like he's getting back into some sort of reasonable form. They're just a quality outfit. You know, the left edge, like I say, the Ensemble, Wardle and Marshall partnership. No wonder that's the edge that has created and scored the most points for Wigan Warriors this season. It really is potent, isn't it? There's no doubt about it. And they will now fancy their chances. Yes, it's Salford next week, but you just can't see Wigan now not retaining the league leaders shield. Outstanding performance to back up that KR one with an emphatic win like this against the Leeds Rhinos, who haven't been in bad form. I mean, 68-6 last week against Hull FC, and then they come to Wigan and get nilled. I mean, you know, Brodie Croft was a rabbit in the headlights. I thought the kick pressure on Brodie Croft was exceptional from the Wigan Warriors in this game, and they fully deserved the win. There's not really much more we can say. Leeds produced a game that they've been producing all season. I think that's possibly now them done, but I mean, it's so close, isn't it? It's so close. Anything could happen now, and we might do that at the end of In the Sheds this morning in terms of the fallout from these 3 fixtures on Friday night. Not really much I can say that's going to be good for you Leeds Rhinos fans. Quite frankly, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. You might sneak in, but I mean, on this showing, and they've been so up and down, there's going to be no grand final. Surely there can't be a grand final for the Leeds Rhinos this season. They need to go and lick their wounds and come back better next year. As for the Wigan Warriors, well, they are now really in the groove. They just look so good at this moment in time. I mean, let's look at their recent past. I mean, they're on something like, since that Leeds game, you know, you look down the list there, St Helens Magic 20 points to 0, then they beat Hull FC 22-4, then a win against the Dragons away 26-18, that brilliant win last week 24-20, and I think in those games we haven't seen a sparkling Wigan Warriors, we've seen a professional Wigan Warriors. In this game we started to see what we've seen for many seasons. They're so good in attacking phases, they've got brutal D, they are definitely the team to beat, we all know that, but in playoff rugby league anything can happen. Right, who are we giving the 3-2-1-2 in this game? 3 points to Harry Smith. Many people will say Bevan French. Why? Yes, okay, French made a try. His 2 tries he scored were pretty straightforward. Come on, let's be honest about that. Harry Smith's kicking game in this, that's what matters. I mean, no, he just doesn't get the praise he deserves, Harry Smith. I mean, you look back at last year's grand final, you look back at the World Club Challenge, you look at this game, he marshals them around the field. His game management is incredible. He's assisting this game on point. I mean, the kick to Kieran, outstanding for his try. So like I say, Harry Smith, you've got to give him his due. Real quality, fantastic. And maybe the fact that now Kieran's doing the goal kicking, albeit, you know, it's an interesting one, 5 from 2 in this one for Adam Kieran. That might be just allowing Harry a bit more time to work on his ball skills, his in-game kicking, and it's working to a treat. So Harry Smith, he gets 3 points for me. 2 points do go to Bevan French. I thought it was, again, you know, he was all over the field, wasn't he? He was here, he was there. Yeah, every time he had his hands on the ball. I mean, if you look at most tries, Bevan French, in a lot of them, has got his hands on the ball, creating space. And he does make defences concern, doesn't he? And that again is something that you've got to look at. He might not have got the assist, but when he's on the ball, look at what defenses do. That's what, again, even though he's not even past the ball, it creates space because he's gaining so much attention from the defensive line. It creates space on those outer edges time and time again. So even if he's not getting an assist or a try, his very presence on the field does put defenses on their back foot. 2 points for him. And I'm going to give one to Cade Ellis. I've loved Cade Ellis this year. When he got the 13 shirt, I was like, that's an interesting one. But he's took to it superbly. A brilliant try in this one, a typical forwards try. A nice assist in the game as well. 16 tackles indeed from him. 73 metres from 8 carries, 4 tackle busts. A really good, solid loose forward performance from Cade Ellis. I'm going to give him a point. Do you agree with my 3-2-1? Are you concerned, those who are going to be playing in the playoffs, about the Wigan Warriors form? Can anybody see the colours on that trophy not being cherry and white this season? Get in the chat, let us know. As for the Leeds Rhinos, well, what are you making of this one? I know what I make of it. It simply was not good enough at all. If you want your flowers to grow well next spring, maybe put a bit of Leeds Rhinos in the turf is all I would say, or should I say in the bedding, because quite frankly, it's not been great, has it? Anyway, there you go. The Wigan Warriors 38, the Leeds Rhinos 0, as we go over to the totally wicked stadium. St Helens 40, Castleford Tigers 4. Are you concerned because the Saints are coming? Have we written them off too early? I mean, don't get me wrong, I have been writing them off all season, but all of a sudden the troops are back. Many people were saying, were they brought back too quickly? Well, not on this showing. They were simply superb. Percival makes such a difference to the left edge of the Saints. There's no doubt about it. A quality player is Mark Percival. Not really on it in terms of his goal kicking, only got 3 from 4, but he was outstanding yet again on the left edge. He's potency in the attacking line is unbelievable. 106 metres from him. And then, of course, Tommy Makeson back, another 189 metres from him. A try on his final game at the Totally Wicked Stadium, fully deserved for his service to that club. Outstanding to see Tommy back. Walmsley last week, shocking against the wire. And what do you know, it's him who waltzes through for the first try, of course, inside ball to Burns. And that really did settle the nerves. And from there, it was just a quality display, this, from the Saints. This looks a lot better. They did seem... Where's this been all year? Well, quite frankly, he's not been able to put most of these players on the same part. Clark's return was incredible. Bell looking a little bit more like it. Delaney, what a try that was from George Delaney. Took it really well. Party getting in on the app, which tells you everything. Party scoring tries. It must be a party. Outstanding stuff from him. I thought Lomax, superb. Absolutely superb. It's took him a couple of weeks to get going, but yeah, Johnny Lomax really was. He had his paw prints all over this game. He had a sensational night, did he? I thought Matautia again asked once more to play in centre, and Sione just does not let you down. Outstanding performance from Matautia yet again. 136 metres from 17 carries from Sione, of course, who's bowing out. I think that's amazing. I couldn't believe that this week, that Sione Matautia is going to be leaving Saints this season. He's had, arguably, actually, he's got to be in contention for their Player of the Year. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to be very interested to see who gets the Player of the Year at Saints. I'm going to shout it out. I think him and Morgan Knowles really up there in the pecking order. It would not surprise me if Sione Matautia got it for his versatility and his consistency in 2024. Yeah, like I say, this was brilliant from Saints. This is a performance we've not seen for the majority of the season. People say, well, hang on a minute, who were they playing? And yet, you're right. They were playing a Castleford Tigers team that had some key personnel out. I grant you. I agree with that. I've got no issues. But you can only beat what's in front of you, and they beat them really well. In any game of rugby league, if you limit your opposing team to less than 1,000 metres, and that's what Saints did, Castleford only ran the ball for 953 metres in this game. I mean, that's domination, absolute domination. Don't get me wrong. I think, again, from a defensive perspective, Paul Wellens will think, well, we've got things to work on. 24 missed tackles in this game. That will concern him a little bit. I think, that's not really what it's all about for where he's concerned. But the forwards did a lot better. 38 tackle busts in this one for the Saints. They were looking far better in this game. Benison scoring a hat-trick on the left-hand side. I'm pleased for Johnny Benison. I mean, let's be fair. Benison this year has spent a lot of time on the sidelines. He's been watching the likes of T. Ritson getting ahead of him. He was given his chance with Percival. And we've got to say, with Percival, 2 try assist from Percival. That's how good he is. He's an outstanding player, Mark Percival. Outstanding. And him back is just going to be a tonic for Paul Wellens. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, Benison, great hat-trick, really pleased for him. He's had a really difficult season in and out of the side, playing for a contract as well for 2025. This will have done his chances no harm whatsoever. Suddenly, all is forgiven where Paul Wallace is concerned. The social media, well, the tide has certainly come in for Paul. I mean, a lot of happy Saints fans on Friday night off the back of this one. Yes, there's no doubt about it. Look very, very good indeed against the Casford Tigers. It's a bigger test, though, next week. It could be all or nothing next week at the LSV. Of course, that is going to be one not to be missed. And I think we'll get a better handle on where Saints are at when they come up against the Lee Leopards next week at the LSV. That's one not to be missed. I'm really looking forward to that. Outstanding, absolutely outstanding. So who are we giving the points to? I'm going to give three to, I'm going to give them to Johnny Lomax. I think Johnny Lomax, again, you know, just when he plays well, Lomax, Saints play well. I thought he had his hands on a lot of good stuff, you know, diffusing things in the back line, you know, some key tackles at key moments, some lovely expansive play at times. I thought he was really, really strong. So I'm going to give Johnny Lomax 3 points. Two, I'm going to give to Delaney. You know, Delaney, a player that I've always said, is he big enough? And again, yes, okay, he's coming up against Casford Tigers, but 115 metres from 14 carries in this game, 5 tackle bust, a clean break, and a very well taken try. So well done to George Delaney. You get my 2 points. And one, I'm going to have to give to Johnny Benison. Well done, mate. Well done. You've had a really tough season. You've stuck in there. You've got a hat trick at the Totally Wicked Stadium, the final game of the season, potentially at the LSV, at the Totally Wicked. But then again, it might not be. You might actually get a home game in that first elimination round of the playoffs. So that's going to be very interesting indeed to keep an eye on there. But yeah, Johnny Benison won. Do you agree with that, Saints? Are you back? Have we written the Saints off too soon? Do you believe that you can still get to Old Trafford, that you can somehow mount a little bit of confidence and consistency at the right time of the season? We know you've done it time and time again. Can you do it once more? And as for you Castleford Tigers fans, well, yes, okay, you've got a bloody nose here at the Totally Wicked, but it's been, I think, probably a better season than you anticipated at the start of the season. What are you making of Craig Lingard? What do you think of your signings that have been made during the course of the week? And what do you think your chances are going to be in 2025? Get in the chat there. But there you go. Brilliant win this for the Saints. A real clinical, dominating, professional performance. 40 points to 4. Let's now go over to what was, or should have been, the big one at the LSV. The Lee Leopards, zippity-doo-dah, Hull KR24, an incredible win for the Robins. They're the real deal. Don't worry about that. We asked the question, could they strike back after that disappointing loss in cruel terms at the Brick Community Stadium last week? And they answered in kind against the form team in Super League. Don't forget, Lee went into this 9 wins out of 10, and Hull KR, sorry, FC, that would be a thing, wouldn't it? Hull KR absolutely steamrolled them at the LSV. This was an incredible performance. Real quality performance when you consider they lost 9 levels. They had to move the pack around. They brought, you know, the likes of Parcell into the house. They brought put Mikey Lewis at full back, and you're thinking, actually, here we go, opportunity knocks here perhaps for Lee. But no, they just took it in the stride, and that's what champion teams do. They didn't lick the wounds. They didn't get down on themselves. They didn't start to doubt themselves. They just got on with the job, and the Robins were outstanding. The Lee Leopards, quite frankly, were hiding in the trees. Normally it's the Robins who live in there. No. The Leopards were hiding in the trees here because of what was going on the field of play. It was an outstanding display, this, and they deserve total respect and admiration to Willie Peters' side, because they are the real deal. This is the team that is probably worrying the Wigan Warriors the most, no doubt. Really tough game last week at the Brick, and to any team to go to the LSV, especially a fully strength almost Lee Leopards, with only a Pappy really missing, wasn't there? I mean, you've got to say this was a statement. Why was Moylan left at fullback? I mean, dearie me. I mean, whoa, Matty Moylan. I mean, the last time I seen any control like that with the hands was Baby in Dirty Dancing holding melons. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I've had a better chance if he was holding melons, some of those eyeballs. It was shocking. I mean, do you love me? Not on this performance, Matt. I have to say, wow, just simply wow. And I have to question why Lamb didn't say, no, let's put Gaz O'Brien back at fullback. Let's bring in Matty Moylan into the house. It just wasn't working. It didn't work all game. And they just kept peppering. Minchella's going to be a big loss. I mean, again, we're going to have to keep a close eye on the match review panel on that. There's no doubt he's missing next week. Will he miss? Will he get a 2-gamer? I mean, that could be a hammer blow. I mean, Minchella's been in such good form. Don't get me wrong. They've got quality that they can bring into that position. Okay, they won't be too concerned. But, you know, when you lose your talisman, your captain, and he's been in great form this year, arguably, the number 13 of the season, that could derail them a little bit. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Elliot Minchella. I mean, look, stats sometimes they lie. And they do. And this is why when I do in the sheds and I talk on weekly and all the rest of it, I use my eyes, but I also use this. The stats had this game so close. I mean, ball running meters, 1,943 for the Lee Leopards, 1,913 for Hull KR. You look at the tackleables, KR slightly better, 34 to 26. And that, again, is a bit of a statement when you consider the punching power of Lee Leopards. And it was actually what many people would say, especially we know Whitbread. Let's take that into account. There was no Jai Whitbread either. They still managed to run through the line far quicker. Play the ball in the opposition half. Actually, Lee had the most, 27 to 22, but they just didn't have the punching power to get through. And again, it wasn't working with O'Brien in the halves. For me, I can't believe he didn't make that switch. Certainly at half time, very, very surprised. And Mr. Sale always says on weekly that their Achilles heel is their kicking game, and I think it showed in this one. Absolutely showed in this one. They just couldn't get good field position. The kicks from Lamb, pretty much a lot of them were inside the 30. They were running from about the 30-metre line, not the 10 or the 20. They were running from pretty decent position at the start of each play the ball were Hull KR, and they just kept coming and coming and coming. An outstanding display from them, I have to say. Mikey Lewis, what a performance. Let's do it right now. 3 points for Mikey Lewis. He really is now. He's in. I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything where the Super League trophy is concerned, but yeah, 3 points this week for Mikey Lewis. He was behind Matt Duffy when we last looked in after round number 21. Where is he now? Well, of course, that'll be announced at the end of week 27. But yeah, Mikey Lewis, no doubt about it for me. Outstanding in his game. His first try was typical Mikey. Unbelievable. You give him the ball 15 metres out, you've got to get your hands on him. That little scurry, the fact that he broke the first tackle, and, the smarts to get the ball over the line. It was a piece of quality. Absolute genius. No wonder the NRL are sniffing around this guy. He is outstanding. He really is. He's been elevated this season from a good player to a great player to an excellent player. Superstar, you could possibly say. Not quite got the cape that Bevan French has got, but let me tell you now, he could be on the way. He's certainly the Robin to his Batman. Let's say that one. 2 points I'm going to give to Dean Hadley. I thought Dean Hadley again. Playing prop forward. He's done this all season, whether he's played second row or whether he's played in the front row. Hadley has been outstanding. Another 48 tackles in D, but had enough energy to carry the ball 20 times and get 141 metres. Outstanding. Dean Hadley, what a player he's been for KR this season. And 1 point I'm going to give to Matty Parcell. Let's be fair, Parcell not expected to do the minutes that he did in this, had to change, where he was. I mean, obviously, I think it was Litton actually who went into scrum half. But of course, that meant that Parcell had to stay on the field of play. And he did brilliantly. 46 tackles in this game from Parcell, 6 dummy runs, some of them really potent. He also ran for 85 metres. So I'm going to give Matty Parcell a point. Do you agree with that? 3 points for Mikey Lewis, 2 points for Dean Hadley, and 1 point for Matty Parcell. People will say, where's Jesse Sue? Look, Jesse Sue, yes, he scored his try, but come on. He only made 17 metres from 3 carries. I like Jesse Sue. He's had a great season. He scored a brilliant try, but he's not in the 3-2-1, folks. No. Lewis 3, 2 for Hadley, 1 for Matty Parcell. Ladies and gentlemen, it is all set up now for round number 27. What a round this is going to be. Now, there's still a few things that could happen. We would expect Salford Red Devils to win today at Hull FC. If they do that, they're on 32 points. That's right, 32 points. That would mean that only St Helens could topple them for fourth. Only St Helens on points difference could topple them for fourth. So if Saints beat Hull KR next week, okay, and Salford lost to the Wigan Warriors, it would be Saints who would finish in fourth and get a home tie in the first elimination round, not Salford Red Devils. If Saints go to the Lee Leopards and lose, the Leopards would finish on 31 points. They would leapfrog the Saints. Salford, of course, would still be behind Saints, but it would be the Lee Leopards who would go into fourth if Salford were to lose at the Wigan Warriors. And like I say, if Salford were to win today, Salford would be 32. Sorry, no, actually, what am I talking about? Salford win today, it's 32 points. Only St Helens could catch them. St Helens lose to the Lee Leopards, then it's Salford who go into the playoffs in fourth place in a home game. If Saints beat the Lee Leopards, it will be Saints that have that home tie against them. Incredible. That's going to be unbelievable. Lee have to win. Simple as that. It's looking more and more like it could be a Lee Warrington first game at Halliwell Jones. That's a mouth-watering prospect as well. But of course, and this is the other thing, if Salford win this week, they go to 32 points. If the Lee Leopards beat Saints next week, they would go to 31 points. Incredible. This is incredible, and that would mean that Saints would play Warrington. So it's just, I mean, I'm doing this on the fly, but unbelievable. So it's going to be a great round number 27. We know that Warrington are more than likely going to finish third. That said, they're not a million miles behind. They've only 82 points behind Hull KR going into that final game. We've seen what Wigan have done to Leeds this week. That won't worry Hull KR too much, let's be fair. But Warrington have got London next week. So it depends on what happens today. If Warrington were to put a number on Huddersfield Giants today, they still have a glimmer of second. But I would expect Wigan now to win the Shield, Hull KR to become second, Warrington to be third, but the fourth, fifth, and sixth places, and of course the connotations that has in terms of that first period of the eliminations, unbelievable. It could be Warrington Saints, it could be Warrington Lee. I mean, I'd expect Salford are going to be in that middle quadrant. They are going to be finished this season either fourth or fifth. That's how I see it. I think they win today against Hull FC, and that means that Lee couldn't possibly topple them. So I think Salford will finish either fourth or fifth. The question now is who is going to get the home tie and who is going to be playing Warrington at Halliwell Jones Stadium. That is the big question. We're going to be keeping an eye on that in round number 27. Enjoy your rugby league today. Some massive games coming up. Huddersfield Giants taking on the Warrington Wolves, of course. Catalan taking on London. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Can London get themselves off the bottom of the table? Of course, Hull FC against the Salford Red Devils. Do what I always tell you to do. Make sure that you record the one that's on the telly, watch one of the ones on the Sky Plus, and then you can watch the one that was on the telly later. That means you get 2 full games of Super League today, not just the one. That's been In the Sheds. Outstanding stuff from the Wigan Warriors. Hull KR bounced back in brilliant style. And have we written off the Saints too early? We'll see you tomorrow as we review the Saturday fixtures. Bye for now, folks.